Welcome to Everyone Loves Guitar, where we sit down and talk with interesting professional guitar players, uncover their stories, and discover what makes them tick. If you love guitar, music, and the backstory of people's lives, stick around. You're in the right place. The Be Fulfilled Journal helps you be more honest with yourself and with others and be more open to handling things you've avoided dealing with for years. It's a 12-week online and journal program that helps you identify and eliminate things you do that are causing you stress and live in more gratitude and joy. It was actually developed by a long-term friend of mine who got sober in 2008, and he's put together a great deal just for my listeners. You get the 300-page hardcover journal and access to the 12-week video program online, plus free shipping, plus membership in a private Facebook support group with others going through the program, plus a 5-day mini course showing you how to let go of stuff that's draining your energy, plus a 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. To start your journey and get all the bonuses, go to BeFulfilledJournal.com/ELG. That's BeFulfilledJournal.com/ELG. For information about advertising on Everyone Loves Guitar, including information on geographically targeted ads, go to everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. That's everyonelovesguitar.com/advertise. Hey everybody, this is Craig Garber. Welcome to Everyone Loves Guitar. We got a great up-and-coming blues guitarist who's hardworking as you can get. We're with Dany Franchi out of Italy. He's actually in Italy right now talking. Isn't it amazing? Like, you're younger, so this is not a big deal to you, but this is like space age shit that you're in Italy. I mean, and it's like the connection's like you're sitting at the other end of my desk. It's so crystal clear, man.
I'm younger, but I'm a country boy. So it still amazed me all the time. I'm not a very high tech guy. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, this is great, and thanks. I'm happy to have you today, Dany.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Let me give you some background on Dany, and his last name is Franchi, but it's spelled Franchi. So when you start researching him, look up his last name correctly. Dany was born in 1990. That's the same year my older son was born. There you go. In Genoa, Italy. He's considered to be one of the best young blues musicians on the scene today, and this is 100% true. In 2014, he recorded his album I Believe in Ohio, and it was produced by the International Blues Challenge winner Sean Carney. In February of 2017, Texas blues legend Anson Funderburg, who we had on this show, and Don Ritter of Category 5 Amps, based out of Dallas, Texas, decided to produce Dany's third album, Problem Child. The album was released in May 18th of last year, 2018, by Station House Records, and it reached number 4 on the Billboard Blues charts. In the last 2 years, Dany's promoted his music, performing at prestigious blues festivals all over the world, such as the Blues from the Top in Colorado, Bayfront Blues Festival, Greeley Blues Jam, Doheny Blues Festival, Dallas International Guitar Festival. That must have been great exposure for you, no?
Oh man, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because that's every like serious guitar player goes there and checks out the guitars every year. I know that, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Blues and Jazz Rally, I guess, was it Czechoslovakia?
No, it's in. I think it's in Luxembourg.
Oh, in Luxembourg. Okay.
Yeah, Luxembourg. Yeah.
The Olsztyn Blues Festival, Poland, I guess.
Poland, yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And the August Blues Festival in Estonia. Is that right?
Estonia, yeah.
And many others. Dude,
yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on the show, man. And let me tell you, Dany is on tour and working his ass off like all the time, and we'll talk about that today. But thank you so much for making time to come on, man.
Thanks a lot for having me. I'm a fan of your show, man, so I'm definitely honored to be here talking with you.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine, believe me. What's the music scene like in Italy, and how does that scene differ from over here? And also, how are the fans different?
You know, the music scene in Italy, it's a little difficult. And that's one of the main reasons why I kind of moved away from here, or actually I spend a lot of my time away from home, from my original country, because there's not so many clubs and there's not so many festivals. There's a lot of musicians, and good musicians as well. But it's probably not one of the best place to be for as a professional musician. But it's definitely one of the best places in the world for the rest, like food and girls and
Good
a
man.
bunch of other stuff. Yeah.
Is blues big there? Like, how did you get turned on to blues?
I think that blues, in my experience, blues, it's a little bit everywhere. I mean, there's a blues scene in every corner, in every country that you can imagine. And Italy has definitely a pretty big scene, and there's some artists back in the days that traveled to US as well, or backed up American musicians over in Europe, and those guys being my teachers, my mentors through the years, and that's the reason why I got into this kind of music.
I interviewed I don't know if you know him, Steph Burns.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Steph, it was really funny because I was asking him, I said, what's the difference in general between Italy and the States? He goes, one thing is really weird. He goes, the boundaries for personal space, he said, they don't have them here. He goes, he said, you'll be waiting, at the counter, at the deli counter in the grocery store, and you're the only person there, and someone comes up behind you and they're right up against you.
Right up.
And he said, it's not weird for them, but it's really weird for me. Cause I just want to say, hey, like, is that how why is it like, how does that work there? Is that just the culture where people are their body space they're intimate more, or?
I think it's just our personality. We are very, passionate people.
Sure.
And we speak loud. We speak with hands.
Sure.
We have this kind of relationship between people, or even if they're not actually friends, but we are very friendly. In general.
He said everybody's really nice, but he said that was the only thing that he had to get a big adjustment to. He says, I just want to take a step back, and nobody's there. That's funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you find that when you come to the States, if you're online where you're close and you're getting a vibe like, oh my God, I'm too close?
Yeah, I'm not so Italian in that way.
Right.
And I travel a lot since I was pretty young, cause music. So I kind of, got a little bit international in my way of approaching people.
That's
but
great.
I noticed the same thing.
Oh, you
sure.
did?
Yeah.
And how did you learn English? Your English is great, man.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Oh my God. Yeah. Holy shit.
I studied a little bit of school, but I actually didn't finish the high school because I wanted to play music, and I got hired by a singer-songwriter here in Italy, and being his guitarist for a couple of tours. So I just decided to, invest everything in music, and I learned English just touring, and dealing with American musicians and spending time over there, especially in the last 2-3 years. I spent a lot of time in US, mostly the whole year.
That's great. Well, your English is great, man. It's really
thanks
awesome.
A lot.
Incredible.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, plus you talk quick. That's, it's not like if you, most time when people first learn the language, they speak slower.
Slow, yeah.
But you're you sound like you're from New York already, man. You're doing great.
Oh man, thank you. I got to work on my pronunciation. I know.
No. Leave it like that, because actually, it's just fine, because you got to retain.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's what makes you different, man. Yeah, no, it's just perfect. It's like my wife is. I told you, from the UK. I never want her losing that accent.
Wow.
Because it's just, that's what makes you unique and gives you the character, man. So to me,
sure,
it's great,
that's true. Yeah.
Hey, and if someone don't understand you, it's their problem, not yours.
Exactly.
That's it, man. How did you get hooked up with American producers to make your first record?
It's a funny story because I was opening a show for Sean Carney, the guy who produced my CD, I believe, in a little place on the coast here, close to Genoa, my hometown. And I just opened his show, and while I was playing, he came to me. I mean, after my set, he came to me and asked if I was playing my original songs or if I had any original songs already recorded, and he just liked my set. So we started talking, and he kind of pushed me a little bit on writing new stuff, record a CD, and then we did a little tour together in Italy. I put it together a tour with him because we kind of became friends. And after that, I never been to US before, and it was definitely my dream since I was very young. So he told me, if you want, you can come. I can put together some shows and we can actually record some of your music. And that's what we did.
Good for you, man. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so is it difficult? Because I've spoken to a lot of people from all over the world. I think like maybe 20 countries, maybe 25 countries at this point. And
wow.
Yeah, I love talking to people because growing up in New York, man, nobody's from there. So I'm very, it's like totally normal for me.
Wow.
Is it problematic, like visas and all that stuff coming over? Is it always a hassle?
Man, yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, the first time I came was in 2014, and I came mainly to record the CD. So I played some shows as a guest, but it wasn't like the main deal. And I came another time in 2016. To perform at the IBC International Blues Challenge in Memphis, but it was a challenge, so I didn't need any particular visa. But right now I have a visa, and it's an O1. It's the same one I think that Matt Schofield has. Because I remember,
my God, yeah,
because when I was going through all this visa stuff, I remember that I listened to your Matt interview, and I talked with Matt a little bit about that as well, and that helped me a lot.
That's great, man. That's great. I'm really happy. That's really cool.
But it's definitely difficult. I mean, I've been very fortunate because the story is that while I was in Memphis for the IBC, after I did the competition and I just got into the semifinals, so I traveled from Italy to there just to do this kind of competition, and I'm not a big fan of competitions in music, but it was a way for me to
get yourself out there, man. Yeah,
exactly,
you have to.
Exactly. And after the competition, a friend of mine told me, there's a blues jam at the Hard Rock Cafe in Bale Street, so you should go. And I just went there, and Andy T, the guy who used to play with Anson, was there, and he was the one that was hosting the jam. So I had to wait till like midnight, but at the end, I got the chance to go on stage and play and sing 3 or 4 songs. And exactly while I was playing, this guy, Don Reeder from Category 5 Amps, was walking down the street, and he heard me playing, and he thought I was from Texas. So he came in and the club and asked to other people who I was, because he is from Dallas, but he never heard of me, and he heard this kind of Texas sound.
Playing Texas blues.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then when I finished my set, he asked me, "Hey man, but are you from Texas?" I said, "No man, I'm from Italy. Never been in Texas before, but it's actually my dream."
Yeah, that's so cool.
And he's one of the promoter of the Dallas Guitar Festival.
Oh man!
And he was looking for a young guy to put on the lineup. So he told me, if you want to come to Texas, I can get you into the Dallas Guitar Festival. And so that was my first chance to go to US and playing a big festival like that. And that's where I met Anson. And Anson, Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I was in touch with him by Facebook because I always been a big fan of him.
Yeah.
But then he came to listen to my set at the guitar show, and he is friend with this guy, Don Reader of Category 5. So they just decided together to produce a CD for me. And then Don, with his M company, sponsored me to get a visa to come to US and be.
Oh man, wonderful.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a very, very fortunate situation, and from that thing, I just learned that the only way to make things happen is just going out there.
You got to get out there,
yeah, and do your best, and things gonna happen somehow.
What a great story, man. It's amazing how you didn't even want to go to the competition and you went and all these good things fell into place for you. Exactly. I'm happy. That's nice, man. It's a good story. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you're touring all the time. Do you book your own shows or do you have booking agents or how does that work for you?
I have a booking agency in Belgium and they handle all my European booking. And I have my label in US, in Dallas, Station House Records, and they help me a little bit with booking. And I have a couple of friends that they do a little booking as well, but I don't have yet like a real booking agent in US. And that's
the States.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm looking for. But it's probably the hardest part.
Well, finding a good one, yeah. So if anybody listening to this, if you're a booking agent, you want to talk with Dany, hit him up on Facebook, I guess, or Instagram, right? Is that fair?
Sure.
Yeah, and connect with him.
Yeah, email on my website and anything.
Great. Yeah, make sure you vet them though, just because they're listening. Get a good.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm sure you know what to ask for. It's funny in Belgium. It's not any chance it's not Reggie Washington's wife booking you, is it?
No, it's an agency called Good Time Booking, based in Belgium. And, it's another crazy story because I played one show in France one time and was like a crazy drive, like 13, 14 hours drive to get to this show just for one show.
Okay, wait a minute. From Genoa to where you were playing?
Exactly. From Genoa to Lille, this little town up in the north of France. And I drove the all night with my band to get there. We played the show. And fortunately, at the show, there was this lady that is the lady of the booking agency. And she decided to hire me.
That's great. So so that's good. So you get a lot of opportunities by going out and doing your thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the only way to make things happen. Just traveling all the time as much as you can.
I haven't seen your show, but I would imagine you're very engaging with your audience.
I definitely try to, and that's probably one of the main thing that I learned hanging out in US and with American performers.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, try to improve my just not being a guitarist or a singer, but try to be a performer.
Entertainer. You got to you got to engage people because you're not going to get all these opportunities. I can tell you right now, unless you're doing that. So you must be doing a pretty good job, especially for a younger guy. So congratulations, man. That's really
thanks
good.
So much. Thank you.
Hey, what are you working on now that you're most excited about?
I'm just in the middle of my first European tour with my own band and my own name, so I'm kind of excited. We just got back from 10 days, 9 shows in a row.
Wow.
Playing in Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, France. So I mean, it's been a very cool experience, and we're gonna leave again tomorrow night for another long ass drive to Belgium.
Wow.
12 hours. Yeah, and we have other 3 shows in a row, and then I'll come back and I have a couple of other shows in Italy. Then I'll play in Transylvania, in Romania.
Wow, that's cool. Do you know AG? Do you know AG Weinberger?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he's in Hungary, and I interviewed him. He's an interesting guy. He had something to do with like turning the whole country onto blues as the communist wall fell.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you want to, man, I'll make a note. I'll send you an email afterwards if you want to meet him, because he's in Hungary, and probably if you're playing there, he'd be a good guy to maybe talk to.
Oh, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I played in Hungary one time, but just one time, and so I don't have so many connection over there.
Well,
yeah, but
he's a good guy.
cool.
I'll hook you guys up.
Thank you.
Are you coming back to the States this year?
I sure come back to the state, and actually to Florida.
When?
For my first time.
Dude, when are you coming?
In October. I have like 3 or 4 dates line up in Florida, and I never been there, so it's gonna be my first time in Florida, and I'm pretty excited.
Is it on your website?
Probably not yet. But they're gonna be in my website soon. Yeah,
Very cool.
I'm gonna be in a festival called Camping with the Blues, but I don't remember exactly where. I'll let you know.
Yeah, man. Sure. If you're in my area, let me know, please, man. I'd love to come out and see you play, shake your hand,
sure.
have a cup of coffee, have a cup of
pleasure,
cappuccino.
Man. Oh yeah, sure.
What are your favorite like venues to play in? Because you've been literally all over the world already.
Yeah,
or places or countries. Doesn't have to be venues, even. Favorite places.
I definitely love to play in US, like in festivals and blues clubs. But I love playing in Europe as well. It's like the audience is very different. So when you get used to the American audience, it's kind of weird to play for a European audience. And if you're used to the European audience, it's weird to play for American audience because it's really different.
In what way?
And European people are like very quiet, and they come mainly to listen. I mean, so there's usually not food going on while you're playing. They just sit down, pay the ticket, sit down, listen to the music, don't talk so much. And so it's kind of, being I don't know, the theater.
Yeah. Do they clap or? Yeah,
they clap for sure. Yeah. And especially in some particular countries, they are, very focused. They like on solos as well. So it's very, very cool. But if you get used to the American audience, they are more,
on their cell phones.
Sometimes, but I mean, talking about the good American audience, they are more like, it's party time. So let's have some fun. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Similar like Italians to me. So they give you a lot of energy.
Yes.
I mean, American audience gives you a lot of energy, and European audience give you different feelings. I mean, probably you have to have a lot of energy already on stage and give it to them.
Yeah.
But they are very focused and quiet. So they appreciate a lot what you're doing.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard that there are differences, and this is a similar thing I hear all over the place, man.
Oh yeah. It's like a huge difference for sure.
Dude, you got like that. What is that tattoo? It says blues on your over here.
Oh yeah.
Where'd you get that?
I was like 18 years old.
Oh, you got it in Italy.
Yeah, in Italy. Yeah, and probably when I first decided that I wanted to, play this kind of genre and just got into this kind of genre pretty deep, it definitely changed my life. So I did that. I'm not sure if I would do it again now at 29 years old, but I did when I was 18.
If that's the biggest mistake you make when you're a kid, you're fine, dude. Trust me.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, so Genoa is a big city. Did you grow up like in the city or maybe in the suburbs?
No. I grew up in like where I am right now. I'm at my parents' house, and I grew up in a very, very small village in the countryside.
Oh, wow.
So where there's anything going on. Like when I say anything, it's anything. so just fields and some farmers, and that's it. And so you have to take your car and drive 30 minutes to get to the city and see something.
Interesting. So what kind of work did your dad do or your mom?
My dad was I'm not sure if it's the right word in English. He worked in the typography. Is it
Yeah,
right?
like a printing press, maybe, or
Printing. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And my mother, she worked when she was young, but then she just stayed at home. I have two older sisters, really older than me.
Right.
One is 45 and one is 44.
Oh, wow.
And I'm 29. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm the baby of the family.
Yeah, but you know what? All my friends that had older sisters were like great with girls. They knew how to talk to girls real easy. That was a big benefit. Was that a big benefit for you?
I can say I can recognize that I feel definitely comfortable in dealing with girls.
Yeah.
And kind of understand girls, sometimes too much. That's probably my problem.
Yeah, because you had all your sisters and all their friends over and all that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I can see that sometimes I think more as a girl than as a man.
Because that was your influence, your primary influence.
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally get that, man.
Yeah.
What was growing up like for you? What was your childhood like?
I decided to be a professional musician or being focused on music when I was very young, I don't know, 12, 13.
Oh,
I
wow.
was already talking to my parents that I wanted to make music in my life and do that as a job. So I didn't do so many other things, honestly.
Yeah. Were they supportive about that?
Oh, a lot.
That's
always,
great.
a lot. Even if I'm the only one in the family that plays an instrument, my parents, they are not into music, and I mean, I didn't have like record collections or CDs from my dad, or he was listening a little bit to some B.B. King and John Lee Hooker, stuff like this, but he's not like a real fan.
Sure.
Yeah, so it just came from me.
That's great, man. Really good. So where did you even, let's see, 29. So you grew up pretty much, half your life was in the analog age with records and CDs, and half your life was in the digital age.
Exactly.
So where did you get like music as a kid? Like I'm sure there wasn't a record store around the corner.
Yeah, I had there was a little record store in the first village close to where I grew up, and I usually went there to buy some records, but I was very young and I didn't have so much money, and this guy was very surprised that there was a so young guy, 11, 12 years old, that was looking for music or guitarist and stuff. And so sometimes he just burned copies of CDs.
Holy shit, that's hilarious, man. That is really funny. Yeah, the record store owner bootlegging. That is hilarious, man.
Yeah. I remember one time that when I was probably 12 or 13, I was literally fell in love for Yngwie Malmsteen. Okay. Completely. And I really wanted his first CD because I liked the tone, with the Strat, but using old Marshall amps, that kind of stuff. And I knew that this guy of the record store had that CD. So it was like a bad day, a rainy day, and I convinced my mom to drive me to this place to get the copy that this guy burned for me.
That's hilarious, man.
CD. And I remember that this guy told to my mom, sorry if you wanted to go out with this bad weather, but it's Malmsteen's fault.
Yeah. You know what? That was very kind of this guy, because if you're selling,
exactly,
you're not going to burn copies. He must have really taken a liking to you.
Exactly. Yeah. So I definitely have to say thank to that guy. Yeah, because I had the chance to get into a lot of this kind of music because him. And actually, I just remembered that a couple of years later, I was working as delivering pizza, like a pizza guy.
Yeah, pizza delivery guy. Yeah.
Yeah, pizza delivery guy. And fortunately, the pizzaiolo, we say in Italy, so the pizza maker was a huge like blues rock fan, and he had like all the discography of Stevie Ray Vaughan, this kind of stuff. And he was another one that burned a lot of copies.
Oh man, but you know what? You had these guys step into your life, and they really supported you. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah.
I think you're in the right place at the right time doing what you're supposed to do, because I don't think you'd have all these outside influences and all these good things happening to you if you weren't.
No, I right now I think that, if you have like I think that each one of us has his own path. And I think that if you are on your path and you can feel it, I think that things comes to you.
Yes.
So probably I mean, right things come to you. And I always been definitely so involved in music and focused in music. And I think that just the right people in my area, and the people that was able to help me somehow just, came to my life somehow, because, we kind of, attract each other.
Yeah, for sure, man. But you're also like a super positive guy. Like you just seem like I'm getting so much positive energy out of you, man. So you're the kind of person I think people want to support as well. When you come to the table with that, it's like, everybody wants to get behind that, because you're giving, the exchange of energy, man, you're leaving more with the person than they had behind. And to me, like when you do that, that's a freaking gift, right?
Oh, wow.
So,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So no, it's all on you, man. Were there any surprises, Dany, about the business side of being in music when you first started?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing that always drives me crazy. I mean, now I'm kind of dealing with it a little bit better, but especially when I was younger, is that it's completely unstable. I mean, everything is can go up and go down in 2 days or 2 months or 2 hours.
You mean from an from earnings standpoint?
From income, and as talking about career.
Yeah, right.
Well. Yeah, and it's really hard to build a life around this. Like a relationships, or being able to buy yourself a car, or renting a place, or everything. So it's probably to me it's the most difficult side of the music business. Yeah, it kind of being flexible and don't get too stressed about this, because it's just part of the deal.
So let me ask you this. So as a young guy that's aware of this, are you and right now you're kind of like in the grind stage where you're busting it to I always say, because you're a business owner, right? And I always say running a business is like getting a plane off the ground. And in the beginning, you got to kill yourself to get a little momentum, just to get that plane off. And then once it gets off, then you got to keep killing yourself so that it doesn't go back down.
Exactly.
But hopefully you get to a place where you kind of like sailing a little bit. But as you're doing this, do you look for sort of opportunities that have more stability, aspects of music that have more stability? Like, do you have your eyes open for them?
Probably this question is the main question that I'm dealing with right now in my life, because, especially when you tour so much and you are away from home for so long, you kind of realize what actually what is important in life for you. And sure. And I definitely realized that music, it's a huge part of my life, but I don't want I don't want to have just music in my life.
You don't want to sacrifice everything else.
Exactly. And that's what I did so far.
Yeah.
So, when you by yourself in a hotel room somewhere in, I don't know, in Netherlands or in some weird places, you think, okay, I'm definitely doing what I like, but I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah.
So I would definitely like to get to the point to being able to reach a kind of balance where I can keep doing what I'm doing, but saving some times for other things, and being able to support myself and maybe support family as well one day. So trying to reach that point. It's probably my main goal, to being able to be to have the freedom of doing what you like to do, but without sacrificing everything, but being able to actually live a kind of normal life.
Yeah, I totally get that. It's good that you're aware of that and your eyes are open for it, because if you keep looking, you'll find, maybe producing something, you'll figure something out.
Exactly.
But as long as you're aware of it, I think that's the most important thing to me.
Exactly,
anyway.
the most important thing.
Is there any things that you did that at the time you were uncomfortable, but they turned out to be really good things that you did?
Probably the most uncomfortable thing that I had to do is leaving my country and spend the most of my time in US, even if it was my biggest dream, and it still is. But I had to quit a relationship.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, and,
that's tough.
Kind of being focused on yourself a lot. And that's, I think, the one of the good thing of being successful in what you do is that you are focused on yourself. So probably you're gonna be successful because you're focused on yourself and what you're doing. But you realize also that after a while, it's not so fun to be focused so much on yourself.
Well, there's more to life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's kind of the step that I'm in right now.
Yeah, and it's really important to have that. Like I had a thing. I was having just a bad day this morning, and I told my wife, and she said, "Man, it was really like." She said, "Well, don't worry. We're a team. We're in this together. We'll get through it." And I was like,
wow.
And when I saw her in the gym, because she was leaving and I was coming in, and I saw her, and I came home and I said, thank you so much and we've been together 26 years.
Wow.
But, yeah. But thanks.
That's awesome.
Well, I congratulate her, man. It's got to be like 1,000 years for her. But, but I said to her, I said, after you said that to me, I realized that whatever was bothering me is insignificant, because I felt so good. I mean, that, and I feel very grateful to have that, man. So,
man, I think that what you just said to me, to my way of seeing life, it's probably the most important thing that you can have in your life.
It is for me, and I'm a guy that's like you, very focused on his career. Whatever project I'm doing at the time, right now, it's this show, and so I understand the commitment and the intensity it takes.
Sure.
But man, when she said that to me, it was just like, wow. And I
exactly.
And I was so grateful. I mean, even though we've been together a long time, doesn't mean I'm less. I don't take. I'm not the guy. I don't take things for granted. I don't expect anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man, this is like, to be having this after 26 years I felt like the luckiest guy in the world, to be honest.
Man, yeah, I'm thinking of one of the most beautiful thing that that a musician told me. I'm a huge fan of Ronnie. He's probably one of my favorite guitarists ever. And I had the chance to talk with him and actually play with him. And I remember that when I asked to him some, advices about music, career, life, the first thing that he told me is, don't forget to have a family.
Yeah.
And don't forget of relationships. Don't forget of love. Don't take this thing for granted. Don't be just focused on yourself and think that if things are going great for you, it's fine. Doesn't matter what. I mean, the cool thing about life is, sharing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the relationships you have. Yeah,
exactly. And it's actually what we do as a musician as well. It's just like playing for yourself in your room or playing for someone. And I think us as a musician, we have to keep this thing in mind, like to be like this, not just on stage for people when we have our instrument in our hands, but just to have this kind of philosophy in life in general. So in relationships and friends and everything. And it's very easy to me to get, focused just on yourself doing this, because it requires a lot of energy, a lot of focus, and sometimes you forget of
well, it's so time consuming. It's not even like forgetting. It's like you don't have it. You're exhausted at the end of the day. You're done. It's tough, man. I understand. Exactly. Yeah. Well, man, you're a super bright guy. You're going to do fine.
Oh man, thank you. Thank you.
Let's talk about gear and guitar for a minute. When did you first feel like you were getting good?
I think that the first feeling that I had that definitely changed my playing and my approach to the instrument is when I had my first real Strat. I'm a Strat guy.
Yeah, I know.
And my first guitar was a chord, like a small chord that my father bought to me. And then, when I was like in the first teen ages, I got into the Ibanez and this kind of like more rock metal kind of stuff. But then I switched to to a Strat, Eric Clapton model.
Sure.
And I always been a huge Clapton fan because he is the first guy that I listened to when I was young. I mean, when I was 9, 10 years old, a friend of mine gave me this CD just one night, live CD of Clapton's life, and that's when I figured out that I wanted to play guitar like that, and I figured out that I liked that kind of sound, and definitely changed my life. And I'm still listening to the CD right now. I mean, and still moves me and reminds me why I'm doing this. So probably that guitar definitely changed my playing, and I improved a lot on that guitar. Like completely got me to another step.
That's the double live album, right? 2 CDs,
yeah, exactly.
I think. Yeah, I have that one.
Exactly.
Okay, so what's your main guitar right now? Is it that Eric Clapton Strat?
No, I have. I'm a kind of cheap guitarist. I have just 2 guitars.
Okay.
2 Strats.
That's great.
And one is a Mexican one is a Jimmy Vaughn signature.
Yep.
And the other one is a Japanese Strat from 1990 or 91 that I bought in Austin a couple of years ago. So those are my main guitars.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I've heard really mixed things on the Japanese Strats. I've spoken to, do you know Tomo Fujita?
Yeah, sure.
So I was talking to Tomo. Of course, he's from Japan. and he's going to be able to make it, he's going to be able to talk to people and know the good ones from the bad ones.
Yeah.
But he loves the Japanese Strats. And then I've talked to other players here that are like, because I was thinking, man, we look for a Japanese Strat. And they're like, I really wouldn't do that. So what is your opinion of between what's the difference between the Japanese and the American Strats? Maybe it's a different year. I don't know.
Honestly speaking, I'm really not into gear. I mean, I don't know so much about guitars or amps or stuff. I'm kind of learning a little bit more right now. But my philosophy always been, I play a guitar if I like it. It's fine. If I don't like it, I won't buy it.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I did with that Japanese Strat. I just played it, and I felt very comfortable with the neck and with the sound. And then I found out that it was a Japanese, and I always heard very good reviews about the Japanese Strat. Yeah, and I didn't have the chance to play so many others. I remember I played another one and was actually pretty good as well, especially compared to the modern ones.
Okay. The modern Japanese or the modern American?
No, the modern American.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, because, if you think that I paid like $700-800 for that guitar, and to me, it sounds as good as an American or other.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing. I had I'm pretty good friend with Jimmy Vaughn.
Yeah.
And I had the chance to go to his house and play his guitars. And
he's probably got a couple of guitars, right?
yeah. But I own a Jimmy Vaughn Strat, and it's probably my favorite guitar that I ever had.
The Mexican, that one you just said,
yeah. Yeah, the Mexican one. And I actually had the chance to play his Jimmy Vaughn Strat. So like the real one that Jimmy Vaughn played. And we compared mine to his one and to the other one that he had. We compared mine to a custom shop that he had there. And we didn't hear so many differences, honestly.
Between the Mexican Jimmy Vaughn, or are you talking about the Japanese Strat as well?
Between the Mexican Jimmy Vaughn and the other Jimmy Vaughn, or the custom shop that he had there, a Fender custom shop that he had. Yeah. So that's why he was saying to me the same thing. I mean, he said it's a cheap guitar, but it's a very good quality and very good sounding guitar. And so I'm not sure if I feel very comfortable in touring around, carrying with me like an old
Strat, a 62 Strat or something. Yeah.
62 Strat or a custom shop Strat, because I'm not
airplanes, saying shit happens, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying that those are not good guitars.
Sure.
But in my way of thinking, it's crazy to spend too much money on a guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember that one time a guy told me, would you like to have that 58 Strat? What you would do if you had that guitar? And I said, probably the first thing that I would do if I had a guitar is selling it and buy a car or a house or something. Yeah. Because I don't need a 25 grand guitar for play guitar or try to express what I want to say with my instrument. I just have to feel comfortable with it, and can be an $800, a $500, or a 20 grand. It doesn't matter for me.
Well, the way you play, man, especially anybody can't listen to you and say, hey, he needs a better guitar. So, that's the best, endorsement right there, man. And I've talked to loads of, I think more people than not nowadays tend to think that way because, first of all, who the hell has the money to drop 40 grand on a guitar or 25 grand? Not a lot of people, but there's some good instruments out there, So, that's interesting. I'm going to look for that Mexican Jimmy Vaughn. If I see one, I'm going to check it out.
Do it, man, because they're very good Strat. Yeah, if you like the Strat sound, it's definitely a guitar that you have to check it out.
What kind of pickups are in there? Are they regular Fat 50s?
Tex-Mex.
Texas Special?
Are Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex? Okay.
Yeah, Tex-Mex.
I never played those. I played
so.
Texas Specials. Thanks, man.
No.
Is there any... Who are you listening to right now, guitar player-wise?
I'm not really listening to to guitar players. I'm listening to a lot of singers. I'm a huge soul music fan, so I'm listening to a lot, Stax records kind of stuff, and Donny Hathaway, or Stevie Wonder, or that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So yeah, I never listen so much. Guitarists. For sure, like B.B. King, Albert Collins. Those are my guys. And like younger guys like Anson or Jimmy Vaughan, Stevie, Ronnie Earl. All the Strat player, even people like maybe not really blues player like Mark Knopfler is another guy that.
Dude, what amazing! And just think he's doing all that without a pick.
Yeah.
He's an incredibly talented guy, man.
Exactly. Yeah. So those are probably my favorite guitarists. But I listen to them sometimes. But right now, in the last couple of years, I'm listening a lot of singers.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Does that help you with your writing?
Yeah, helps me with my writing, with my singing. Actually, I try to work a little bit of the singing part, because there's a lot of great guitarists, there's a lot of great singers, but it's kind of hard sometimes to find a good guitarist that is actually able to sing well as well. So that's the part of your craft you're spending time on, is developing your voice.
Yeah. It's interesting too. Whenever people from other countries sing in English, you never hear their accents.
Exactly. That's what everybody always told me in US. They told me, we can tell that you are from Italy when you speak, but when you sing, it seems that you are like an American guy. Yeah.
Well, it's the same for the Brits, for all these years.
Yeah, exactly.
You listen and you can't tell someone's got an English accent.
The Beatles. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Desert Island Discs. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would be your top three? Just for now. Not, because I know this could change even this afternoon if I asked you.
Probably, for sure, Just One Night.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, the early B.B. King stuff, like early years, like recordings from the 50s. I don't know, like a particular CD, but like the early B.B. King stuff. And I'm a huge Tom Waits fan.
Interesting. I've had a lot of people who've played with him on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
I've interviewed several. And a lot of people like Tom Waits, actually, that I've interviewed in general.
Yeah, probably one of the CDs that changed my life the most is Tom Waits' first CD, Closing Time. I love that CD. It's probably one of my favorite ever.
I'm going to check that out because I'm not real familiar with his catalog, so I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm definitely.
And there's no guitar in it.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. Tough question. What's your definition of happiness?
My definition of happiness is probably, first of all, being grateful for what you have, and try to probably feel that you are on your path. So if I have to, stop today with everything, I want to be happy about the way that I'm living. And that's, what we were talking about before, always have in your mind that there's a lot of great things in life and deserve to be lived in all this kind of stuff. I mean, not just being too focused on few of those.
Man,
to me, I mean, that's a thing that I realized not so long.
I give you credit, man, to speak English to express all this. This is not easy.
Yeah, it's very hard for me. And
you're doing great, man. No, you're doing
Thank
great. Honestly, man, I'm like, it was really cool.
Thank you.
What do you like most about yourself?
The thing that I always liked the most about myself is the focus. So, I'm a kind of guy that if I decided I want to do something and I want to reach a goal, or I'm going to do it. I mean, I'm definitely going to do it. I might die for it, but I'm going to do it. And so I definitely always liked this part of my personality. I'm trying to, I want to look like to move forward and find other stuff that I like of myself.
Good, man.
Probably being an I consider myself like an honest person, and that's probably another thing that I like of myself, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of. It's interesting. I was just thinking yesterday, in general, now, of course, we're on an interview. It's not like we met somewhere, so it's different, but the honest musicians in general are some of the most honest people. It blows me away every day.
I definitely can see this.
It blows me away every day that people I don't know, I've never, and are comfortable to come on and share like feelings and thoughts. And I'm so like, I feel very lucky that people are comfortable to do that. But, it's such a great group of people in general.
Let me tell you this. To me, it's not so common to have the chance to actually talk about these things and, talk about deep things as well with someone that actually have the sensibility. Is it right?
Yeah. Now you're getting it up. Now you're getting in my uncomfortable zone because you're getting ready to say something nice about me, and I'm not good with compliments.
No,
so whatever you're saying is fine.
That's why I'm a fan of your program, because it's not about just talking about guitars or music, but you get into the person, the artist, the person, and how he is, what he likes, what he does, and you can see like a different side of the artist and the person that you can't discover in other way or just listening to the music. Or so it's a very special thing, and I'm so glad to be involved in this. And I if I can give a suggestion, please keep this thing because it's very, to me, it's the big value of your show, man.
Thank you.
We don't talk just about pickups and strings and
I don't know
stuff.
about pickups and strings, so I could never talk about it, man. I'm like I drive a car, I put the key in, I turn the ignition. I'm the same way when I play guitar. I put the chord in and I play. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what like I know what string gauge I like. Is that really something important? No. And it's so I like people. I like to learn, and so that's what interests me. How did you get? Because I get inspired every day. I talk to people, man, and it keeps me in a good place. When I'm hearing all these success stories and how people went from here to there, it really keeps me in a very good place, to be positive and humble and man, I love music, and I'm talking to musicians, so it's a win for me as well.
Yeah.
So, it's
trust me, is from both sides.
No,
and
thank
that's
you, man.
probably the reason why you have so many great artists coming to your show, because we can feel it.
Oh, good, man. Thank you. That's really kind of you. Now you get me all turning red here. Something or someone you miss from your childhood. And thank you very much. Honestly, that was really kind of you.
No, it's true, man. My pleasure.
Something or someone you miss from your childhood.
Probably the guy that I told to you before that gave me that Clapton CD, Just One Night. He was my sister first husband.
Oh wow!
So he's the father of one of my nephews.
Okay.
And for family reasons and stuff, we are not in touch anymore. And even if I don't, I'm not very, how can I say? I don't like him so much as a person sometimes, but I'm definitely grateful because he gave me a huge gift.
That's really cool, man.
So yeah, it's probably a person that I kind of miss from my childhood for sure.
That's really cool. Thank you, man. Speaking of that, who's had the biggest influence on you musically and also personally? Your parents must be really good people, because you've really got your shit together for a guy that's, I think some of that is growing up not in the United States. It's been my observation that for some reason, people that are raised in other countries tend to be a little further ahead of the curve maturity wise.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
My parents are, old style people. I mean, they've been together for so long, like 50 years.
That's great.
And, I was born after, me and my sisters are 15 and 60 years apart.
Yeah.
So they wanted to have another kid after 16 years from the last one. So there's definitely a lot of love between them.
Yeah.
And they always been very, very good parents and supportive to me. And they are probably the probably the best person that I know in my life, and probably I'm the person I'm most grateful for they did for me. And music wise, a lot of people influenced me a lot, but here in my area, there's probably two guitarists that definitely helped me to find my way. And one is Paolo Bonfanti, is his name. He's probably one of the first guy in Italy that went to US and recorded in US and played with American people. So when I was very young, I started playing drums actually. And I was a student of his drummer. His drummer in his band.
Okay.
Drummer, yeah. So one of the first live concert that I saw in my life was his show, because my drum teacher invited me to listen to him playing live, and he told me, I'm gonna play. I play with a pretty good blues guitarist. Do you like blues? And I said, I'm a big fan of Eric Clapton, so you gotta come and check him out. And he influenced me a lot. Actually, inspired me a lot, because Paolo, yeah, because he spent all his life playing and investing in his career and his music. So he definitely been a huge influence. And the other one is a guy always from here, from Genoa or close to Genoa. We always call him Guitar Ray, but his name is Renato Scognamiglio, and he's probably the guy that gave me most inspiration about blues guitar. So with him, I definitely learned a lot about blues guitar, and introduced me to all these blues masters, and helped me a lot with, to be focused on the feeling. I mean, not just technique and kind of all this kind of stuff, but like to have the feeling on your instrument as the first thing to deliver what you want to say.
Do you ever see these guys, Paolo and Renato, when you're off on a break and you maybe go to a club locally or something?
Yeah, sometimes. Paolo is still playing, but he's not like touring so much anymore. He plays more locally, and sometimes we run into each other. And Renato, unfortunately, he stopped playing. I mean, touring, because he had some health issues.
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah, but yeah, we are still in touch. I'm still in touch with both of them.
That's cool, man. They must be happy to see your career and how you're taking off and going to the States and going all over Europe now, and they must feel good about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Of course. Most important thing your dad taught you?
Probably respect people and being honest with people and with situation, with work.
And how about your mom? Most important thing she taught you?
Probably be polite.
That's nice, man.
And respectful. Yeah.
Hey, just a couple more questions, Dany. Any hobbies or interests outside of music?
Yeah, my biggest love beside music is nature and everything that it's around farming and animals and growing stuff. Because I grew up in countryside and I love it. I mean, it's really hard for me to live in the city. And
I understand that.
Yeah, and I always say that if one day I'll decide to quit with music and do something else, probably the only thing that would make me very happy as much as music would be being a farmer.
Really? What kind of farmer? That's a hard life. That makes music look easy, man.
Yeah, that's right. And I actually did for a while, like a side job sometimes, so like an experience, like I spent 1 or 2 months working in a farm in Ireland.
Oh, that's cool, man.
I did that. Yeah. When I actually tried to run a little farm here in my village when I took a kind of little break from music a couple of years ago. Not actually a break, but just trying to be focused on other stuff as well. And I love like livestock and then growing vegetables. So that's probably what I like to do, mainly for supporting myself.
Sure. Yeah,
and then maybe selling some stuff as well, but like a very easy and humble life. That's definitely what I like to do.
I interviewed a guy in England, Les Davidson, great guy. I mean, really cool guy. He's a session player. He's done a lot of high level stuff, but he grew up in Scotland on a pig farm.
Wow.
And he was talking about, it's a rough life, man, and then the pigs got like, that disease they had over in England, hoof and mouth or some disease. And they had to close the farm down. He goes, but it was a tough life.
Oh yeah. Very tough.
Up in Scotland there. Favorite place you've traveled?
Probably one of my favorite place that I've been. It's I love Colorado.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're smoking weed, man.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not a big weed smoker, but I'm a huge mountains.
It's
fan.
beautiful there.
Yeah,
I was there. So it's gorgeous, man.
Yeah. So
really
there and Minnesota, and one of my goals. I mean, one of the things that I have in my list is going to Montana and Wyoming.
I've been both those places. It's gorgeous.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
It's just beautiful there, man. Yeah, because we went to what is it? The park there. Having a brain. Yellowstone. No, was it Yellowstone? There's another Yellowstone. I think is in California.
Yellowstone is in. I'm sure because that's where I want to.
Okay, so it's Yellowstone. We went through
Wyoming and Montana. Yeah,
right. It goes through all those states. Idaho. It was gorgeous, man. And I'm a city guy, and I appreciate the country and nature, because I never grew up with it, and it was breathtaking, man. It was just really amazing. So if you get a chance to go there, it was.
Yeah, that's definitely on my list for forever. So I want to do that for sure.
Yeah, worth taking a week off or a couple of days anyway, and driving through there, and just getting out and exploring. It was gorgeous, man.
Wow!
I had all my kids with me. It was a lot of fun. Good trip. Last question, Dany, and I can't thank you enough. You're a great guy. I wish you nothing but success, and I know you'll be back here on the show.
Thanks so much
to talk about. Yeah, man. Tell me about a specific experience that changed your life or changed the way you think about things.
Probably it's when I left almost everything, and I came to US, and I spent about almost 5, almost 6 months in US traveling and sleeping with. Being hosted by always different people and playing music and meet all my idols. And and I'm talking about last summer.
That's really
so that's probably the experience that changed my life the most and made me realize how fortunate I am to have the chance to do that, and what I want to be focused on besides that.
Awesome.
So, the two sides.
Well, man, I can't thank you enough for your time. I want to tell everybody where to listen to you. Dany's a great blues player. The new album is called Problem Child, and it's Dany Franchi. It's Dany, D-A-N-Y. Franchi is spelled F-R-A-N-C-H-I. Hit him up and follow him on Facebook and Instagram, and go to his website. He's got a really great website. It's DanyFranchi.com, DanyFranchi, and support his music. And when he comes to the U.S., go out and see him. Tell him you heard him on the show and say hello. And anything I missed or anything I forgot?
I don't think so, man. I'm very thankful. Thanks for a lot for this opportunity.
Oh, man.
And I really hope we're going to stay in touch.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll see you when you come.
Yeah,
I'll see you when you come to Florida, man. For sure, I'll be looking out for you.
Sure. I would love to, man.
And anytime you got something new to promote, you come back on here. We'll promote it.
Thanks a lot for the opportunity.
My pleasure. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, please share it on your social media channels. We appreciate your support. Thanks again to Dany Franchi for spending time with us. Please support Dany's music. Give him a listen. He's a great blues artist. It's Dany Franchi, F-R-A-N-C-H-I, and Dany is spelled D-A-N-Y. You may have to add another N in there to get the American audience to come close to finding you online. Make sure you go to everyonelovesguitar.com, sign up to get on our newsletter list so you and I can connect. And most important, remember that happiness is a choice, so choose wisely. Be nice, go play your guitar, and have fun. Till next time, peace and love, everybody. I'm out. We hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, subscribe to the Everyone Loves Guitar podcast, and you can do this online at everyonelovesguitar.com or on iTunes. And if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star positive review. The more 5-star reviews we get, the higher our show ranks, and higher rankings mean we get to continue speaking with cool, interesting guests on our show. We'll see you on the next episode, and until then, keep playing your guitar and have fun making music.